Good evening. Welcome to tonight's masterclass presented by the Primavera Fund. I am Rachel Siegel, the Executive Director of Primavera Fund. And tonight our masterclass practitioner is bassist Christopher Johnson. This is a really exciting evening because he started to play the bass in Project STEP in Boston, which is now part of the Bridge to Equity and Achievement for Music. And our masterclass series is made possible by, with our partnership with the Philadelphia Musical Alliance for Youth. And we are a sister program with Project STEP and the Boston Beam program, so that is very exciting for us. Welcome, Christopher Johnson and everybody watching. Our first performer tonight is Aram Karpe.
My name is Aram Karpe. I'm in 9th grade and I go to Kepa High School. I'm going to be playing the Sonata by Echoes.
Good job, good job. Hello, can you guys hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hey, so, what's your name again? Can you tell me your name one time, please?
Ram.
Ram?
Ram.
Ram?
Mm-hmm.
Nice to meet you, Ram.
Nice to
I
meet you.
want to thank the Primavera Fund for having me here. I'm honored to give this master class. But yeah, great job, Ram. I would say, would you like to start with the first movement or the second movement? What would you like more?
Second.
The second movement?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, with this movement, what I heard, I felt like the eighth notes could be a little more on the string. It felt like there was like a little too much air, and I feel like you'll be able to show more of the direction if you keep the bow connected to the string a little bit more. Like right now, I feel like it's way too short. And I feel like it would serve the piece better if it was more on the string. Could you try it for me like a little bit slower? Just like the opening couple bars, opening phrase. Like I would try and sing it more. And like I think you're gonna be able to achieve that better if the bow stays connected to the string. Right now I feel like you're lifting the bow off of the string from what it sounds like on this side. So can you try like even slower? So yeah, I think that sounds better to me personally. But yeah, that's one of the things I would try and incorporate throughout the whole thing. And there's certain points that come into the piece where I feel you should kind of make little accents or like just bring them out more, not necessarily accents. Like it's like a pickup, like it's like the opening two notes. That figure happens a few times, and I would try and bring that out every time. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So could you give it a try for me, please? But I want to feel the pickup going into the downbeat, up, down, up, down. Yeah, exactly. And then try the next one. Well, the G into the F sharp, it should feel like the beginning. Yeah, that's a little better. That's a little better. I definitely feel the eighth notes going, I mean, the upbeats going into the downbeats a little better. But I feel like if it's a little more legato, it's going to make everything work a little more. Can we try measure, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Measure 9, the forte. Yeah, that's all right. So like even right here, even more so, I would even be like a little more legato. I understand what you're trying to do as far as separate the notes and make sure everything is clear. But I think if things are more connected, it's going to allow you to sing this piece of music a little better. So like. Does that make any sense at all? Or? Just try it very slow and very connected. It's working a little better, but I still feel it can be like a little more legato. And let's try and work on some of the phrasing, I would say. Can you try and sing it like that for me? I mean, play it like that for me, please. Yeah, just try to even like a little bit slower, because I want this to kind of set in, you know. Like everything super connected. Yeah, it's working a little better. If you're able to play it any slower, because I think you might be used to just playing it at this one tempo, and like having the flexibility to play it at different tempos, and even having the bowing backwards is going to help you to learn the piece better. And like I would definitely explore some of that in your practice. Do you mind if we touch some of the first movement before we move on to the next? One thing I noticed in the first movement, there's a thing about like you have like really good ears. I feel your intonation is pretty good. There's some parts of the piece where I feel the heart, and like I think those parts of the piece need more attention. But one thing that really stuck out to me was the ending of notes. The beginning of the notes are starting really clear, but the way you end some of your phrases could take some more attention. Could you just start the beginning of the first movement for me, please? Yeah. I think you did better this time around. Like before, you would just let some of the notes just kind of stop, and you wouldn't like paying attention to the way you would turn down some of your phrases. And I think you did a better job this time around. But still, again, I'm still finding the problem of like I feel like your right hand needs to be more silky. Like some of the bow changes are too audible, and it becomes a distraction from what you're trying to say musically. And then I also noticed your long notes, like the notes with the quarter tied to an eighth, they're kind of plateauing, and I feel like they should be growing or doing something like with the vibrato, at least maybe a lighter vibrato, and the vibrato grows. That's a technique you could explore in your practice. Yeah, try from the, where would I say it? From the third phrase, maybe like 2 or 3 bars before, 4 bars before the repeat. The C sharp. I would definitely grow through the note instead of it having it just stay the same volume. And all those metrics like that are like that. I like your vibrato at the end, and I think you should keep a consistent vibrato throughout the whole movement, especially for something like this, because there's some notes that are super warm, they sound very lovely, and then the next note doesn't have that same amount of attention or vibrato on it, and it kind of sticks out. And like, I don't think you want to do that. I think you just want the listener to enjoy his time while you're doing your thing. Yeah, can you try from the after repeat the second half?
So from here.
Yeah. And like the thing is that the bow never stops moving. And like as soon as the bow stops moving, the sound stops. And like I don't think you want to stop these phrases. I want you to continue to keep on singing to me. So can you give that a try for me from the second half? I didn't mean to surprise you like that. Sorry. You can try it again. I'm sorry. That's good. Like, what was I saying? take advantage of these moments, like, because if you look at the notes are like going up, and you can even see the contour of the music growing, and just take advantage of those moments to really bring in the listener and make something interesting for their ears. And I think like you're doing a little bit of it, but I think you can do more. And it's going to start with the bow and the placement of the bow, where you have it on the string between the bridge and the fingerboard, and the amount of hair that you have connecting to the string. You know, you want to make sure the hair is flat, so you're getting as much grip as possible. But yeah, can you try from the, I believe it's a D. Around that area, or like a little before that? That's good. Sorry, wait a second. Yeah, I can't see your bow right now. You play French bow or German?
French.
French bow? Okay, cool. What I'm hearing is like I think it's lack of index finger. So what I want you to do is and like try this in your practice too. It's one of the things I do. It's I use 3 fingers to hold the bow, you know? So the thumb is always one of those fingers, and I do different combinations of index and pinky, index and ring finger, index and middle finger, middle finger and ring finger, and the hardest one is pinky and ring finger. I don't really practice that one too much, but when you do that, you explore the bow and what each finger kind of does for the bow, and then like you'll see how much you're missing in your index if you try and explore some of that. So right now, I want you to try that same passage with the thumb, index finger, and the pinky for the bow. Do not like just have the 2 middle fingers, the middle finger and the ring finger are not in use. Just hold them up if you can.
And start from the same place.
Let's start from somewhere like a little more comfortable. From the second half. And remember, do not stop the bow. You stop the bow, you stop the sound. Sorry to stop you. That G is an arrival point. That G. So make sure the note before is not louder, and make sure the G is louder than the note before. Because that's where you're going to. You're not stepping away from it. So try that same passage with your index finger and your ring finger and your thumb. So you're not using your pinky and you're not using your middle finger. That's good. That's a little better. Are you playing that? It sounds like you're playing that as a harmonic, and that's totally fine. You know, we have to use those little markers sometimes just to stay in tune. but you're gonna get a stronger sound if you finger it, if you push it down, and then but if you're not, and you're gonna use the harmonic, you're gonna have to put a little extra weight on that G. But I heard it a couple bars, a couple notes in, but also remember to keep the vibrato going. The only notes that you shouldn't be vibrating on is the 16th notes. All the 8th notes, all the quarter notes, all the dotted quarter notes deserve a little bit of vibrato. All right, yeah, is that time, or should we move on to the next person? I'm not sure how this is supposed to work. Yeah. Huh?
Thank you so much, Aaron. That was beautiful.
Thank you, Aaron.
Our next performer is Isabella Biotto. I think I'm okay, pronouncing that correctly. Also, our incredible pianist this evening is Anna Kizlitsina, and she's done a lot of wonderful playing for us and our students before. Thank you so much for being here. So our next is Isabella.
Yeah, let's Isabella, right? Yeah, that's your name, right? Did I get it right?
Yes.
That's one for me. Okay, let's talk about I was yeah, so one thing I noticed before we get into the second movement, one thing I noticed in the first movement, I was thinking like intonation was pretty good. And then all of a sudden, towards the end of the first movement, it just started going all over the place. And like I felt like you weren't listening. And like when you're playing, you always have to be listening. That's very important. And one thing that's important about playing music is scales and like just long tones and bow exercises and things of that nature. And like you can't be annoyed by it. You have to enjoy it somewhat. You have to enjoy the etudes, like because that's the stuff that makes the pieces and the excerpts that we have to play in orchestra easier and more enjoyable. And I would suggest that like you do so like when you start this piece, I would start just warm up on a few scales. It's no different than cooking. You don't just throw the egg in the pan. You gotta crack the shell. There's preparation that goes into what you're doing. Like athletes, they stretch, they warm up, they train before they compete, before they perform. And it's some of the same part of the discipline of what we do as musicians. And the intonation became a little bit of distraction, but I was going to give you some techniques I would try to just tighten things up as far as, because there's a lot of notes. There's a lot of notes going on, so I see the struggle. So, but the way I would attack it is I would slow it down. And try things to make it harder. So when you play it like this, when you play it like the regular way, it's easier. And let's try from, where is it? Where's a good place? All right, okay. So let's separate the problem. So with the first bar. I'm not sure how you're fingering it, but whatever you're doing, I would just take away the left hand and just get the stroke. Can I just hear how your stroke is going to sound? All right. I'm going to slow it down, but what I want you to focus on is I want you to start up. And I want the up and the down bows to sound even. Just keep on going. I'll tell you when to stop. All right. Okay, like I really can't see your bow right now, to be honest, but I think I can hear the difference between your down bows and your up bows. And I want that to be masked. I don't want to be able to tell the difference. But yeah, that's something you should work on in your practice. Let me hear a couple string crossings. Starting up on the G. Now starting down on the G. All right, so I want you to start the piece again, but concentrate on having the strokes being even, and you can even play a little slower just so we focus on that. Like when you end off the phrase, I want you to give it some consideration. Window at the end of that phrase. But yeah, can you try it again for me, please, from the top? All right. I could use a little more diminuendo, but I'm gonna move on to the next thing. I want you to play it like this. And that's gonna help you keep the pulse a little bit. Okay, that's good, but I want you to try it slower. And even try to raise it. There we go. All right, let's go to the next line. Yeah, I want you to try that dotted rhythm just for practice. But actually, I want you to try it on the string.
Because
Yeah,
I don't have a dotted rhythm in mind.
I know you don't have a dotted rhythm in there. That's a good observation. I want you to do this just for practice. It's going to help strengthen your left hand. So I want you to do it at a comfortable speed. So. It's a little closer to what I'm asking for, but I feel, yeah. All right, so I'm gonna play it one more time, and I'm gonna play out a couple different variations, and this is just something for you to think about and explore within your practice. So. So that's one dotted rhythm I would do, and then another one I would try is. And then I would try and slur two of them. And just trying different variations just to learn the piece in different ways. So when it's time to play it the regular way, it's going to feel much easier. Because like one thing I'm hearing in your playing is that you're working too hard. And I don't think you have to work that hard. I think life can be a little bit easier, but you have to let it be that way. And it's going to be through trying some of these different variations and strengthening your left hand. But yeah, let's try some of the first movement. One thing I remember off the top of my head was another right hand thing. I feel things could be more connected. I heard too many hiccups in the sound, and I said it with Armand. I hope I said his name right. Is the bow? I want the bow to keep on moving, because once the bow stops, the sound stops, and that's not what we're going for. So can you try the adagio for me, please? The opening. All right, sorry. Yeah, like one thing, when I breathe, I don't ever think about breathing. I just do it, I just inhale and exhale. Sometimes in a yoga class, they might tell me to think about my breathing, and then I'm thinking about my breathing, but for the most part, I'm just breathing. And that's how I want the end of your phrases to be. I don't want you to think about ending your phrases. I just want them to end properly. So like, we can't do that. That's what we can't do. That's what we're not gonna do. But something like that. It doesn't have to be exactly like that, but we just can't do. That's out. Could you try to get him, please? And just try to keep it more connected. Sorry, I didn't even tell you how to achieve that. So we're gonna keep the bow moving and slowly lift the bow off of the string. And the reason why we're getting that sudden stop, because the bow is making a stop, and it's stopping the string from vibrating. But if we slowly lift the bow and keep the vibrato going on the left hand, you're gonna get a little bit of that ring. Because like there's an eighth note rest right there, but we're gonna let a little bit of that ring and the vibration vibrato warm it up a little bit. Can you try it again, please? And then another thing I want you to pay attention to is the phrasing, like, because right now, as far as your dynamics, it's kind of plateau, it's kind of straight, little bland. We're gonna add some spices and flavor it up a little bit. So the note that you want to go to, I would say, is the B. So after you touch that B, give it a little vibrato, you can start to come down a little bit off of it. I know I'm not sure if you guys have put any dynamics but like that's just something natural I feel in here with the music. And I think you should bring that out. And like that happens a lot of the time throughout this whole movement. So if you can bring it out here, I feel you'll be able to bring it out anywhere. So can you try that for me? Grow to the beat. Just that opening. add a little more vibrato. Have you worked on vibrato at all, or am I saying something too advanced?
Somewhat, I have.
Yeah. So I would apply that to the B. I would apply that to the B. Yeah. Oops. All right. Yeah. Go on. Go on. Right there. This is like a prime place for you to bring out like a little crescendo. That's like a nice place for you to just milk out. Can you try and just give me a little crescendo from that D? Yeah, go on. I'm sorry. And like, and on the second phrase, even more. All right, so like, okay, so all right, like I was saying before earlier, how scales are important, and scales, like left hand stuff's important, but right hand stuff is important as well. And I would like try warming up with just long tones, just making sure the bow is straight. And what I do, like when I get to the tip of the bow, I try and bring my elbow up a little bit, you know, and that helps him with the bow changes, I feel. Not the best bow change. And I bring my elbow lower for the down bow. Because I feel like what's holding you back from success with this particular, not with this piece, but like certain moments in this piece, I feel it's your warm up. You know, I think if you did more of a warm up, or took it more seriously, or became more dedicated to it, or something, it's gonna make all these things more easier. Because I'm hearing like just like technical things. I feel like there's some things you're trying to say musically, but it's being held back by technique. Are there any particular passages that you want to help with, or?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? All right. Well, thank you. Great job, Isabella.
Okay, thank you so much, Isabella. Beautiful playing. Next, we have Ryan Murnane. Murnau. Sorry, I said it wrong anyway.
Everyone does.
Oh, this.
Yeah, great job, Ryan. Great job. A lot of great things in there. Um, yeah, I like the vibrato. Like the vibrato, like the dynamic range. A lot of great things going on. Hmm. Well, I want to start. Can I just hear like a little bit of the opening? I still feel, yeah. Can you just give me like a little bit of the opening, please? All right. Before that, yeah, I feel like you can grow, do something with those with those long notes, with the dotted, what is it, half notes? I feel like it could be like some like variation of vibrato or something. Or while you're growing, I feel like
Increasing vibrato.
something to happen. Say it again, please.
Just like increasing vibrato. So like kind of starting small and is that what you mean?
Yeah, let me hear some more of that. Yeah, sorry. All right. So, I feel you can arrive at that D a little stronger and a little stronger. Oh, oh my gosh. I feel like you should be able to, if you could arrive at that D a little stronger and crescendo, I wouldn't, I wouldn't get too loud too fast. I would extend it a little bit and save it for that D. Could you try that for me, please? Maybe vibrate on that. All right. All right. Can you start from the beginning and like drag out the crescendo too as well? Sounds good. Yeah, like that's what I'm talking about right there. It's like give me a slow growth, but don't make it so loud where you have to come down like to below for like lower than when you even started. You know, like. You know. It's all good. I understand what's going on. It's a harmonic thing, and like I think you should develop the confidence enough to land that note finger, and to hold that note down. And it sounds like you should be able to do it, but you're just so used to taking the easier route. And like it's okay. It's okay to take the easier route sometimes, but the trade off of what you get from the fingered note when you hit it with vibrato is going to be much more than you'll ever get with that harmonic. You know, but you have to make that decision to want that type of greatness. You know, but you're not going to get it right now. Saying it's something you got to practice. You know, yeah, but it sounds good. You know, but yeah, let's move on to the to the next thing. What else did I hear? Yeah, go on from the high D. Start that no finger. Sorry, yeah, so can I just get those notes right there? Can I just hear those?
Oh, wait,
No, but like play them like you would play them like in the piece. Don't play it like that. Yeah. Just make sure that diminuendo is there, so when you do that, the chromatics going up, it's gonna make it a little better. I feel. If
you think you want
comes down a little more.
a crescendo on the chromatic, or?
It's something like a tiny little thing, but it's something a little dainty that when you land on that G, it's just like a little upbeat to that in a way. I don't want to say, I don't want to put in your mind crescendo because you might give me too much, you know, but like something tiny, you know. Now you need a crescendo on that D. I need a diminuendo. There we go. That's good. Keep on going. That's good. Yeah. Like the intensity that you have in that G, it's nice, but it's too much. And the same thing with that D. But when you do the, yeah, that's when I want that type of intensity that you're giving me in those notes. You give it like, it's like you have a trick, but you don't want to be a one-trick pony. Saying like, save that trick for the moving notes. When you start adding that extra vibrato and extra sauce on it. But yeah, from the, what were we starting at? The G after the chromatics? Quick question, like yeah, on that G, are you purposely doing like a forte piano crescendo?
Yes. The dotted half note.
All right. That's what you wanted. All right, let it rock. All right, yeah, go on. So what I'm hearing in these sections is the index finger thing I was talking about on the bow on the right hand. It's like the sound gets a little wimpy at the tip, you know, and even if you're gonna be piano at a lower volume, you don't have to be wimpy, you know. I need like more hair on the string maybe. I can't really see your bow from here. But like, I need more hair on the string or something. Yeah. Or yeah, more hair on the string. If you want to get that quiet sound, to bring it further from the bridge. But yeah, try again, please. Start. Yeah, around there. And try and keep the bow a little more connected. I could use a little more of that. Like, is that rubato intentional, or is that you like, or are you finding the notes? Be honest with me.
Here. Where is that?
After the scale run up, the like a couple beats before that, there's always like some wavering tempo. Is that on purpose?
Probably not. It's probably not intentional.
Like I was listening to something earlier today, and it's like they were talking about being in control of your mind, you know, because we do things sometimes because it's easier, and then like that's become the cop out. Like it's easier to let the tempo wave right here, so this is what I'm gonna do right now, you know. But that difficult thing to practice it and to get it up to where everything is because like, yeah, there's a lot of great things going on, but there was some pulse issues going on, and I thought maybe they might have been intentional. I wouldn't choose those choices, but I'm glad to know that they weren't intentional. But yeah, I would definitely find a way to control the music and not let the music control you, because that's what's happening with the tempo right now. The difficulty of the music is controlling the tempo. Does that make any sense?
When we were rehearsing, I think that was an issue. I held that too long.
Yeah. And like yeah, it has to be just a habit to have that pulse in your head. It has to be just as natural as breathing. And that's definitely gonna bring this to the next level. Is there anything else that stuck out to me? Yeah, there was just like a lot of swelling in your right hand, like as far as dynamics. And I would just figure out a way to have that more controlled. And like sometimes just practicing down bows with doing a crescendo, and then up bows doing a diminuendo, and then vice versa. Just having complete control of your right hand, trying different ways to practice these different licks, separating the right hand from the left hand. Yeah. So like one way to get that one section even we were just talking about, I'll just take it down in tempo, slowly bring it up with the metronome, because like that's what didn't happen, and I feel that's why we're here speaking about it now, you know. And like I understand those things can be annoying, you know, but but staying in that fire, like those places of difficulty, is what's gonna bring you to greatness. You've obviously done a lot of hard work to get you thus far. There's like I said, there's a lot of great moments, but then I'm distracted by this and that, you know, and that's mostly pulse issues and some right hand legato things, too many swells here and there. Is there any section that you want help on in particular, or?
Just I miss a lot of the arpeggios all the way up.
On the harmonics. Yeah, I would just say that's just slow. That's gonna be slow practice, and then just doing it Trying it in different rhythms, making it harder for yourself. So when it's time to perform, some of the edges off, you know, and you can let your shoulders down and just kind of play. But yeah, have you tried? Yeah, try it for me right now. Just the dotted rhythm. Oops. So it's good. And like one thing I want you to think about now that I'm just suddenly started thinking about, like I can tell when you wake up and you start practicing this piece, you like to play the like you know what that sounds like. It sounds good. So it makes you feel good, you know, and then when you have to play the arpeggios, it makes you feel uncomfortable probably. You know, so you never start there. That's where I need you to start. From now on, it's like you find the hardest part of the piece and you start practicing there. You start off feeling uncomfortable. Saying like you start working off and chipping away at that. Because your mind is gonna be freshest as soon as you wake up, you know, or as soon as you touch the bass. If you let that time linger on, you might lose energy and some brain power that you could have put into the harder passages. But yeah. Is that clear? Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense, yeah.
Yeah, let me hear the ending. Let me hear from the, where is it? Yeah. And like when you play that right now, I want you to extend those diminuendos, you know, milk it out, make sure the bow stays connected. Make sure the bow continues to move. I don't see any rest until the end. I should just be hearing vibrato and beautiful notes. And if you're gonna do your rubato thing with the pulse, pick and choose where you want to do it. All right, let's close it out. Good job. The only time I heard the bow stop was right before the piano, before the C. I think you decided to like separate the notes right there. Even there, I would make sure the bow is really legato. Could you just play? Can you just try that section for me? I can't even see the notes on this. Yeah. Connected like that. Don't. It was, yeah, that doesn't work right there for me personally. But yeah, great job. Thank you, Ryan. Did anybody have any questions for me, like about the bass, about schools, or about career choices, or anything? Feel free to.
So like, where did you go to school? How did you get there and to that point?
That kind of stuff. All right. Well, I started at New England Conservatory, Project Step was like the original group that I started playing with as a kid. My older brother was one of the original members, and I was basically following my older brother, trying to be like him, I guess. He played violin, but when I saw the bass, there was no going back. I like the tones, and the kids playing the bass seemed to be the coolest kids, so I wanted to be just like them. And then I played at the prep school of New England Conservatory up until college. I stayed there for college, went to New York at Manhattan School of Music for my master's, and then I've been freelancing ever since. I've played with the Sphinx Virtuosi, played down in New World a couple times. I played in Ecuador, Czech Republic, Cuba, Venezuela, Guatemala, Germany, Italy. It's like taking me all over the world, China, Korea, Japan. And like, I wouldn't trade it for the world, but it's got to be something you want if you're going to do something like this.
I don't think I have anything else.
Is anybody interested in taking like music as a career, or is this just for fun? Or do you have interest in other kinds of music?
Jazz as well. I'm a jazz bassist as well.
As bassist?
Yeah. I was thinking about it as a career for a little bit, and then COVID happened, and it kind of discouraged me from that. So.
No, I totally understand. Yeah, coding is where it's at right now. Yeah. It's always something you can always explore. I have two friends. They kind of quit music and they're doing computer science right now. One guy does user experience, another guy just writes code. And like the one that does the UX, he still plays here and there. And he's found different ways for him to still incorporate music into his life. And I'm just saying, just because you're not doing it professionally, it doesn't mean it's something you have to let go of, because it's a place of peace for me, at least. You know, even like on the worst days, this is always something I can always just come back to and enjoy, and like and express myself or just meditate with it. You know.
I agree.
Any more questions? Does anybody have family members that also play, or?
My whole family plays instruments. So.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
What makes you being encouraged to practice during the quarantine?
Say it again.
What makes you being encouraged to practice during the quarantine?
Oh, it's like literally, okay, so there's a couple situations I could, like, the thing is, if you stay ready, you never have to get ready, you know. So like, it's like this music thing is a part of me. So like, I was forced to figure out different ways to adjust, you know, like all of my shows, performances were cut down, you know, but like now things have turned into in-home studio recordings. And now I was trapped in the corner where I felt I had to spend so much time with one particular style of music. But now I've taken this opportunity to learn whatever I want to learn, to work on whatever I want to work on, because at the end of the day, as a musician, the job is never done. I can always get better. You know, I can always learn. I can't learn everything. I can always learn more, you know, and like, there's going to be some kid coming up. I got to prepare myself for the young kids that are going to be sounding good, you know? So like, it's a never ending game. And like, at the same time with the COVID, a lot of people have become discouraged. So like now there's just more pockets of money floating around that doesn't know where to be put. You know, like a lot of the the wolves have died out, you know. So there's always opportunity, you know. It's just, are you gonna find it, you know? How badly do you want it, you know? So I understand that people get discouraged from it. I just happen not to be one of them. And you can, it's not just like music has to be the only way. There's other things you can do that, like playing the instrument. You can also compose. You know, you have friends that are probably like there's different types of collaborations you can still do. You know, it doesn't stop. Music is forever. You know.
Sorry, one question from one of our one of the people who's watching the broadcast. She wants to know, what's your favorite genre of music to play for fun or in your spare time?
Currently, what I've been working on is trying to make the bass sound as closely like the voice as possible. So I've been working on just like R&B singers, just trying to mimic their voice and transpose and transcribe in my head whatever they're playing, and just work on ear training and stuff like that. At the current moment, that's been the fun stuff for me, waking up in the morning doing that.
And one more question from another one of our viewers. What were a couple of obstacles that you've had to overcome as a bassist or as a musician?
As a bassist or as a musician, obstacles. Well, when I was a child, my dad would tell me to explore other genres, and my teacher was a classical teacher, and she said, you have to play classical music. You can't listen to this. You can't listen to that. You only have to play classical music, you know, and and the older you get or the further you get along this game, well, I guess for her time, that type of thinking was okay. But now as a bass player of this generation, I feel your mind has to be all over the place. You have to be able to play everything. And that was one of the things I had to learn a little later. Is that's when I started playing tango. This is when I started playing funk. This is when I bought an electric bass and started exploring with that. And then there's also the obstacles of being one of the few saying people of color in an orchestra, those times can be difficult. But one of the orchestras I play in, my first day of work, I was asked to cut my hair, you know, and I was like, wow, you know, and it's just something that I feel is gonna come with the territory, even though it might not necessarily be right. As long as you stay there and make sure that you play everything right, and and that you're one of the better additions to the orchestra, they'll tend to get over and they'll warm up. It's a shame all that has to happen, but that's one of the obstacles I've had to deal with, you know. But yeah, I'm still here, you know. I'm not saying I haven't been broken yet, you know. And then also the fluctuation of how much money is coming in all the time. You have to find this is why learning different genres is important. The orchestra season usually goes from September to June, but during the summers there's orchestral work, but sometimes the opportunities for those different jobs are taken up, you know, because once you get a job, people sit on it for years, and then it's just good to have other options, you know. And because when the money gets slow, it gets slow, you know. But when things are great, they're great as well too. So, yeah.
That is definitely true.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions from anyone here? No? Okay, well then, thank you so much for this. It's a great opportunity for our students and for everybody watching.
I hope you guys continue to study music and join the family, you know. Yeah, bass is great. I think it's amazing. Bass is in every genre of music. Everybody loves the bass player. Everybody loves you guys, you know. So just keep that going. So thank you guys for having me. Until next time.
Thank you. And thank you again to Anna. She's such a wonderful pianist.
Thank you very much.
Yep. And to Alexi, our incredible technological genius who is bringing this live stream to you. Thank you so much to all of our performers, and we will see you next time. Have a good night, and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.